Coming in after last week's PREPUB, we knew we were gonna get some really good chapters and some fire memes. And that when it came down to it, Rosamine would drive a hard bargain at the negotiation table. Still, I think it's safe to say that very few of us could have predicted the level of insanity that we got. This wasn't a negotiation. This was straight up slaughter. After Sylvester and the king talked, Sigiswald came to talk to Rosamine in private. It seems that Sylvester turned down what they had offered, and now he came to see if they could come to an agreement. Rosamine had to state how each of the things that the royals had offered was actually problematic for Ehrenfest, and stated that given the Ehrenfest mana situation, there was no way she could move to the sovereignty without at least a year's preparation. After all, the country's mana problems are not as concerning to her as Ehrenfest's own troubles. Sigiswald, the poor dear, was shocked at her honest remark. Yes, he had asked that they speak plainly, but this was all too much for him apparently, and things just went downward from there. Once Rosamine's merchant mode switch flipped on, the gremlin called upon the powers of Benno and went on a rampage of wild demands and expectations. Resolved to get as many concessions out of him while it was just the two of them, she used every tool at her disposal to get more time in Ehrenfest and, later on, get the royal family to help secure Ferdinand more hospitable living conditions, on top of other things. She didn't mince words either, using the fact that the royal family had such a mana shortage and how urgent it was to deal with that first. She suggested they have a mana dedication ritual right there and then, and drain those attending the Archduke conference from their mana, offering some kind of reward that only the royalty could give. Sigiswald countered, saying it was too soon to organize something like that. We need more time. Rosamine countered, if the royal family and their scholars can't organize a measly ceremony, how can they expect her to move lock, stock, and barrel to the sovereignty without at least a year's preparation? In any case, do they have everything prepared for her? Turns out they don't. They were gonna give her a room, not a villa, a room, which was no better than just throwing her into the sovereign temple. This is appalling treatment, and she calls them out on it, saying that Sylvester treated her better than the royal family was prepared to treat her. At this point, Sigiswald was reeling, even looking to Magdalena for help, but no help came. Rosamine knew that he was ill-suited to negotiation talks, having always relied on scholars, and never once having to adjust to changes of plans made on the fly. In the end, she drove him into a corner and forced him to agree to conduct a dedication ritual during the Archduke conference so they could buy Rosamine a year's preparation. With that out of the way, the talks were finished and Sigiswald prepared to leave the negotiation table, only for Rosamine to say, not so fast. Now let's talk about what I need for my adoption. Sigiswald, a poor shell of a broken man, actually says, there's still more? Indeed, there is still more. That was only the first half of PREPUB. The second half went largely the same way, this time Rosamine stating the things she needed for her adoption. Rosamine made it clear that these are things that she would like to receive, but the final decision will rest with Sylvester and the king, so we will have to see just how many of these concessions she will actually get in the end. It will also be interesting to see the kind of relationship that she and Sigisworm will have going forward. No doubt he will hold this little girl in some awe and respect, though for my part, I don't think he will ever think of the merchant saint ever again without feeling chills run down his back. Well, that's the price you pay when you try to control a crazy book gremlin. Would Benno be proud? I dare say he would, if he weren't so terrified. Finally, after reading these chapters, what I desperately need is a short story from the royals' point of view. What on earth possessed them? Possessed Sigiswald to take her on so lightly? And also Magdalena, what's going on over there? And most importantly, Hildebrand. What is going on in that little head of his? Because for all his innocent looks, this kiddo has earned himself the title Steel Chair Gremlin, and who knows how he's gonna meddle with things going forward. I can't wait for the next PREPUB, and I look forward to more fire memes from the community. See you next time.